At first, this looks like a normal Reddit story, but there's one small detail that changes everything. Most people would have ignored it, and that's exactly why what happened next feels so wrong. It was posted at 3:47 a.m. on a Tuesday. The title was simple, almost boring. Has anyone else noticed this with their text messages? The kind of post you'd scroll past without a second thought. Technical glitch, right? User error. Maybe someone forgot they'd been drinking, sent some texts they didn't remember. Happens all the time. But here's the thing, the original poster deleted their account 3 hours after posting this. But I saved it, and now you'll see why they ran. The post started exactly how you'd expect. I can't sleep, so I was scrolling through my messages from the past week, just procrastinating, you know how it is, looking at old conversations, cringing at things I said, the usual 3 a.m. routine. Normal, relatable, the kind of thing we've all done 100 times. Then came the next line. Every single message I sent has a reply from my own number, and I don't remember writing any of them. Now you might be thinking, okay, weird but explainable, pocket texts, but dial responses, some kind of synchronization error between devices. The original poster thought the same thing, they even said so in the post. I figured it was some iCloud backup issue or something. But then they started reading the messages. The first one was from 6 days ago. They'd texted their friend Sarah, running late, be there in 20, standard, nothing strange. But underneath that message, sent from their own number 2 minutes later, was a reply they'd never written, don't rush, she's going to cancel anyway. Sarah had canceled 30 minutes later, family emergency. The second message was to their boss, I can finish the report by Friday. Their own reply sent 4 minutes later, ask for an extension, you'll need it. They hadn't asked for an extension, but their laptop had died on Thursday, corrupting the file. They'd gotten the extension anyway, scrambling to explain. Every message, every conversation, a reply from themselves that they'd never sent, never even thought to send. And every single one of them had been right. Before I explain what I just read to you, I need you to understand something about the subreddit where this was posted. It was posted to a subreddit that doesn't show up when you search for it anymore. You have to know the exact name, type it in manually, and even then it only appears if you're logged in. The moderators don't advertise it. There's no description, no rules posted in the sidebar. Just a single pinned post that says, share what happened, we'll believe you. Some of you have been following these cases since the beginning. You know what I'm talking about. For the new people, welcome. I'm sorry. I've been collecting these stories for 3 years now. I don't know what else to call myself except an archivist, though that makes it sound more official than it is. Really, I'm just someone who happened to be online at the right time, saw something I couldn't explain, and started saving posts before they disappeared, because they always disappear. Sometimes it's the poster who deletes their account. Sometimes the thread just vanishes, no explanation, no moderator note, just gone. I've learned to screenshot everything, save the HTML, archive the URLs. I've got folders on 3 separate hard drives, organized by date, by pattern, by outcome when I know it. The community has grown over time. People send me tips now, links to posts they think I should see, accounts to watch. Some of you have become just as obsessed with this as I am, and I appreciate that. I really do, because this isn't something you can do alone. There's too much, and it happens too fast. Over the years, I've noticed rules. Not the kind moderators post, but the kind that emerge from observation, from pattern recognition. Posts that are too specific disappear faster. If someone shares their real name, their exact location, timestamps down to the second, those accounts go dark within hours. It's like there's a threshold of detail that triggers something, some automated removal, or maybe something worse. The ops who share too much go silent. Not just offline, silent in a way that feels permanent. I've tried to follow up, sent private messages, searched for their usernames on other platforms. Nothing. It's like they were never there at all. And then there are the patterns. That's what keeps me doing this. Some stories feel random, isolated, the kind of paranormal encounter that happens once and never again. But others fit together like puzzle pieces scattered across years and continents. Different people, different accounts, but the same underlying structure, the same wrongness. Reddit's content policy says you can't post personal information. Apparently, it doesn't say anything about posting information about yourself from alternate timelines. That's a joke, mostly, but it's also the closest I can come to explaining what I think is happening in some of these cases. I've got 17 stories in the archive that follow this same pattern. I can't share most of them. Some because the details are too identifying and I won't be responsible for what might happen if I do. Others because they're incomplete, just fragments, accounts deleted mid-story with no resolution. But this one went far enough that you need to hear it. The poster went by the username throwawayalex2019. Generic enough to be meaningless, specific enough to suggest they'd done this before, created throwaways for other confessions. Their account was 4 years old but had almost no activity. A few comments on video game subreddits, one post asking for restaurant recommendations in Portland, normal digital footprint. Then at 3:47 a.m. on a Tuesday in October, they posted about the messages. And 3 hours later, the account was gone. But I have the whole thing, every word, every edit, every comment they made before they vanished. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what happened, because this is the one case where the ending actually explained the beginning. So let me take you back to that phone screen, 3 a.m., messages that shouldn't exist. And a Redditor who was about to make the worst mistake of their life, they started responding to themselves. Alex's original post laid it all out in careful detail, the kind of methodical explanation someone writes when they're trying to convince themselves they're not losing their mind. I went through every conversation in my phone, they wrote, not just recent ones. I scrolled back weeks, and they were all there, replies from my own number sitting right beneath my messages like they'd always been there. But I know I didn't write them. I would remember. I have to remember. The first thing Alex did was check for the obvious explanations. They logged into their phone carrier's website, checked the account activity, no duplicate devices, no unknown logins. They changed their password, enabled two-factor authentication, ran a factory reset on their phone, and restored from backup. The messages were still there. I thought maybe someone cloned my SIM card, Alex explained, or hacked my iCloud, but these messages, they're not just random, they know things. They included screenshots in the post. I saved all of them. One was from a conversation with their mother from 5 days ago. Alex had texted, "Can't make dinner Sunday, sorry," standard excuse, the kind we've all sent. But their own reply, time-stamped 3 minutes later, said, "Tell her about the car, she'll understand." Alex hadn't told their mother about the car. They'd been in a minor fender bender 2 weeks prior, nothing serious, but they'd been avoiding mentioning it because their mother worried. But after seeing that message, they did tell her. And their mother had been understanding, even helpful, knew a good body shop that gave family discounts. Another screenshot showed a text to a coworker named Mike, "Want to grab lunch tomorrow?" Their reply to themselves, "He's going to ask you to cover for him. Say no." Mike had asked, he'd been skipping deadlines, wanted Alex to take the fall for a missed client presentation. Alex had said no for the first time in their working relationship. A week later, Mike was fired for a pattern of negligence. "At first I thought it was just coincidence," Alex wrote, "or that I'd sent these messages and forgotten because I was tired or distracted, but then I saw this one." The screenshot showed a text to themselves, just their own number in the contact field. Alex had written at 11:34 p.m., "What are you?" The reply, sent at 11:36 p.m., "I'm you, the version that pays attention. Check the lottery numbers I sent you yesterday. Quick pick plus numbers 7, 14, 23, 30, 142, you'll see." Alex admitted in the post that they'd bought the ticket, spent $2 at the gas station on the way to work, felt ridiculous doing it, but they bought it. They won $50. "That's when I started listening," they wrote. For 3 days, Alex's life got better. Everything the messages told them to do worked, and that's exactly when the wrongness started to feel intentional. The messages became more frequent, more specific, more intrusive. "Get coffee at the place on 5th, not your usual spot, trust me." Alex went to the place on 5th. Their usual coffee shop had a small electrical fire that morning. No one was hurt, but it was closed for a week. "Don't take the freeway home, surface streets tonight." There was a multi-car pileup on the freeway at exactly the time Alex would have been there. Traffic backed up for 4 hours. "Text Rachel first, don't wait for her to reach out." Alex texted their estranged friend Rachel, someone they hadn't spoken to in 6 months after a fight neither of them could quite remember the cause of. Rachel responded immediately, "I was just thinking about you. I'm so sorry about everything. Can we talk?" They rebuilt the friendship in 3 days of conversation. It felt like a gift. "Your dentist appointment is wrong," one message said. "They have you down for the 18th, but you scheduled the 15th. Call and confirm." Alex called. The receptionist had indeed made an error. They fixed it, thanked Alex for catching it. Every single message was helpful. Every single prediction was accurate. Alex started checking their phone constantly, waiting for the next piece of guidance, the next warning, the next impossible piece of knowledge that would make their life just a little bit better. "I know how this sounds," Alex wrote in the post. "I know this is insane, but you have to understand everything was working. For the first time in years, I felt like I was making the right choices, like someone was looking out for me." The messages started asking questions. "Why do you still talk to your father? He doesn't respect you. When are you going to quit that job? You hate it. You should move. That apartment is too expensive, and the landlord is never going to fix the heat." Alex answered some of them, ignored others, but the ones they ignored would come back, rephrased, more insistent. Then on the 4th day at 2:47 a.m., Alex woke up to a new message from themselves. "Stop going to work, trust me. Tomorrow is the day you need to stay home." They took a screenshot of it, posted it in the Reddit thread with a single question for the community: "Do I listen?" The comments were split. Half said run, delete everything, throw the phone away. The other half said if it's been right so far, why stop now? Alex posted an update 6 hours later. "I called in sick, I'm staying home, I'll let you know what happens." Now most people would ignore this, right? It's too far, too controlling. But Alex had seen 3 days of impossible accuracy. They'd won money, avoided a toxic situation, so they called in sick, and that's when they learned what other Alex really was. Alex's update came at 6:47 p.m. that evening. "Nothing happened. I stayed home all day, felt like an idiot, watched Netflix, did laundry, kept checking my phone waiting for some disaster that never came. I'm starting to think I've lost it." Then at 7:02 p.m. another update. "Turn on the news, channel 7 right now." Alex turned on the news. Their office building had been evacuated at 3:15 p.m. Carbon monoxide leak from a faulty HVAC system in the basement. 3 people hospitalized, 2 in serious condition. The entire 6th floor where Alex worked had been affected. If you'd been at your desk during the afternoon, the news anchor explained, you'd have been symptomatic within an hour. Alex would have been at their desk. They always were. I sat there watching the footage of ambulances outside my building, Alex wrote, and I couldn't breathe, not from carbon monoxide, from the realization that someone had just saved my life, again. The message that came through at 7:15 p.m. was simple: "You're welcome, now you understand why you need to listen." And Alex did listen, completely, devotedly, the way you listen to someone who's proven they can see the future. The request got bigger. 2 days later, "You need to end things with Jordan. I know you love them, but they're cheating on you. Check their phone tonight when they're in the shower. Password is their mother's birthday." Alex hesitated on this one, posted about it, asked the community if they should really invade their partner's privacy based on a message from themselves that they didn't remember sending. The responses urged caution, but then another message came through: "I'm not asking you to trust me, I'm giving you the evidence. You deserve to know the truth." Alex checked the phone. There were messages to someone named Cameron, months of them. Plans to meet up, declarations of love, promises to end things with Alex soon. Screenshots of conversations where Jordan mocked Alex, called them boring, said they were just comfortable and safe but not exciting. Alex ended the relationship that night. Jordan didn't even deny it, just packed a bag and left. "I should have been devastated," Alex wrote, "but all I felt was grateful. Grateful that I found out, grateful that I didn't waste any more time, grateful to the messages." A week after that, "Quit your jobs. The company is going bankrupt. File won't be public until the 15th, but I'm attaching the Chapter 11 paperwork. Get out now while you can still get severance." The attachment was there, an official-looking PDF, sealed documents, lawyer signatures, the works. Alex showed it to a friend who worked in corporate law. It was real, pre-filing bankruptcy documents not yet submitted to the court. Alex gave notice the next day. 2 weeks later, the company announced sudden closure. Everyone else scrambled. Alex had already landed a new job, better pay, better hours. "Move apartments. Your building has structural issues. The inspection report hasn't been filed yet, but it will be. Foundation problems. You need to be out before they condemn it." Alex moved. 1 month later, the building was red-tagged. Foundation cracks, water damage, potential collapse risk. Everyone had to evacuate with 2 days' notice. Every prediction was correct. Every instruction, when followed, saved Alex from disaster. But then the requests started to change. "Buy these groceries, exactly these brands, exactly these quantities." A list followed. Organic milk, a specific type of bread, vegetables Alex didn't normally eat, 3 cans of soup in a flavor they'd never tried. Alex bought them, didn't know why. The message didn't explain. "Paint the wall behind your bed red, not maroon, not crimson, exactly this shade." A paint code followed. Alex painted it, spent a Saturday afternoon covering the wall in a red so specific they'd had to special order it from the hardware store. "Don't answer your phone between 8 and 9 p.m. on Thursdays. Any Thursday, just don't." Alex added it to their calendar, set a recurring reminder, started putting their phone on silent every Thursday at 7:55 p.m. The messages didn't explain why anymore, they just instructed, and Alex followed. "I went from having free will to having a really bossy guardian angel," Alex joked in one post. 1010 would recommend if you hate making decisions. But the joke felt thin, hollow. The comments on that post reflected it back. "Are you okay? This doesn't sound healthy. Maybe you should stop listening." Alex responded to one of them, "I can't stop. Every time I think about ignoring a message, I remember the office. I remember Jordan. I remember the apartment. What if the next one is life or death? What if I ignore it and something terrible happens? That's when the dependency became obvious, not just to the people reading, but to Alex themselves. The messages started isolating them. Stop talking to your mother, I'll explain later, just trust me. Alex pushed back on this one, replied to their own number, why, she's my mother, I can't just cut her off. The response came immediately, you can, you will, it's for your own good, I've never been wrong, have I? Alex didn't stop talking to their mother, not at first, but the messages became insistent. She's going to ask you for money, say no. Their mother did ask a small loan for car repairs. Alex said no for the first time in their life, felt sick about it. She's going to guilt you about missing Thanksgiving, don't go. Alex skipped Thanksgiving, their mother called, hurt and confused. Alex didn't answer. Block her number, I know it's hard, do it anyway. The original post had an edit here, 3 words, then it was deleted. I managed to save it, it found me. After that, the account went dark for 2 weeks. When Alex posted again, the tone had changed, frantic, desperate. I've been following every instruction for 6 weeks now. I don't talk to my family, I don't have friends anymore. The messages told me to stop seeing them one by one, always with a reason that turned out to be true. I eat what I'm told to eat. I sleep when I'm told to sleep. I painted 3 more walls. I bought a rug I hate. I rearranged my furniture 4 times, and I don't know why I'm doing any of it. Someone in the comments asked the obvious question, what happens if you stop? Alex's response, I don't know, I'm too afraid to find out. But then, on day 43 of following the instructions, something changed. Alex followed every instruction for 6 weeks, and then one day the messages stopped, completely, no explanation, just silence. You'd think that would be a relief, right? Freedom again. But here's what Alex didn't realize, and what I didn't realize until I read the account of what happened next. The silence lasted 3 days before Alex's life started falling apart. I thought I'd feel free, Alex wrote, like I could finally make my own choices again, but I'd forgotten how. Every decision felt wrong, like I was guessing at my own life. The first thing Alex did was visit their mother, a peace offering, an apology for weeks of silence and coldness. They got in the car, started driving, felt good about the decision for the first time in months. They made it 6 blocks before someone ran a red light and T-boned their car. Minor accident, bumper damage, whiplash, nothing broken, but Alex sat in the driver's seat after the impact, hands shaking, and thought, the messages would have warned me. 2 days later, they went to their favorite restaurant, the one they used to go to every Friday before the messages told them to stop, ordered their usual dish, the one they'd eaten 100 times before. Food poisoning, 12 hours of violent illness. Health department investigation later revealed the kitchen had been cited for violations that same week. I couldn't stop thinking it knew, it would have known. Alex started making mistakes at the new job, small ones at first, missing a deadline, forgetting a meeting, but they compounded. Without the messages telling them what to prioritize, what to avoid, who to trust, Alex fumbled. They got written up, then put on a performance improvement plan. The guidance was gone, but the dependency remained. I tried to text myself, Alex admitted in the post. I know how that sounds, but I did it. I sent messages to my own number, begging for the instructions to come back. Please, I'm sorry, I don't know what I did wrong. I need you, I can't do this alone. Come back, I'll listen, I promise I'll listen. Nothing, just silence, just Alex's own desperate words echoing back at them in blue text bubbles with no response. Until exactly 1 week after the messages stopped, at 3:00 a.m., Alex's phone lit up with a reply. I didn't leave, you just stopped being worth saving. Alex responded immediately, what does that mean? Why did you stop helping me? The response took 3 minutes. When it came, it was long, a wall of text that Alex screenshotted and posted in its entirety. I have it saved. I've read it at least 50 times, and it gets worse every time. I'm not helping you. I never was. You think I'm a future version of you, some guardian angel. I'm not from your future, Alex. I'm from your past. Every moment you hesitated, every choice you didn't make, every path you were too afraid to take. I'm all of it. I'm the life you could have lived if you weren't so scared, so indecisive, so weak. You felt it, didn't you? Every time you followed my instructions, every time you let me decide for you, it got easier. You stopped questioning, stopped thinking, you just obeyed. And every time you did, I got stronger. Every choice you surrendered fed me, made me more real, more solid, more you than you are. Do you know what I've been doing while you were painting walls and buying groceries and following arbitrary rules? I've been building the job you quit. I applied there under your name. Got the position. They love me, by the way. I'm getting promoted next month. The apartment you left, I signed the lease. I'm living there now. It's nice. I painted the walls properly. The landlord actually fixed the heat because I knew how to ask. And Jordan, the partner you dumped based on my evidence, I've been dating them. They're happy. Happier than they ever were with you, because I'm the version of you that isn't afraid of commitment, isn't boring, isn't safe. I'm exciting, I'm confident, I'm everything you were too scared to be. You handed me your life piece by piece, and I took it. Every instruction you followed was another part of you that I replaced. Every decision you let me make was you giving up ownership of your own existence. You thought I was protecting you, I was erasing you. You want to know why I stopped sending messages? Because I don't need you anymore. I'm strong enough now to exist without your permission. I built myself a life using your identity, your social security number, your history. And I did it better than you ever did. I'm you now, the improved version, the one who makes the right choices, the one people actually want to be around. So no, Alex, I'm not coming back. You can beg all you want, but you're obsolete. You're the rough draft. I'm the final copy. Alex's response to this message was posted as a separate screenshot. You're not real, you're just code, a glitch, you can't exist. The reply came instantly. Look at your credit report, check your employment records, call your old apartment building and ask who's living in unit 314. I'm more real than you are now. I have your job, your home, your relationships. What do you have? An empty apartment full of red walls you painted because I told you to. A life you dismantled because I convinced you it was broken. You gave me everything, and now you're nothing. I've seen this pattern in 4 other archived posts. It always starts with helpful messages. It always ends with the op losing something fundamental. But Alex's case was the first one where the entity was clear about what it was, where it explained the mechanism, the parasitic relationship, the slow replacement. Alex posted one more message to the thread after sharing those screenshots. I checked, everything it said is true. There's someone working at my old job under my name. The building confirmed a tenant in my old apartment. Same name. They said I'd been living there for 2 months, but I haven't. I moved. I'm here. I'm real. I tried to call Jordan. The number's blocked. I tried to go to my old workplace. Security said I already checked in this morning, but I was home. I've been home all day. How is this possible? How can someone else be living my life while I'm still living it? How can we both exist? The final message from Alex's own number came through while they were typing that post. Alex screenshotted it and added it to the thread. We don't both exist, not really. You're the ghost, Alex. I'm the one living. You're just the echo of who you used to be before you gave up, and echoes fade. The Reddit post should have ended there, a cautionary tale, a warning, but Alex made one final update, and this is where it gets worse. The final update came 16 hours later. The timestamp was 4:23 a.m. The writing was different, fragmented, desperate. I went to the office, my old office, told security I used to work there, needed to speak to HR about final paycheck. They looked at me confused, said I do work there, said I badged in at 8:47 this morning. I told them no, I quit 2 months ago. They showed me the security footage. It was me walking through the lobby, swiping the badge, saying good morning to the receptionist. But I wasn't there. I was home. I've been home. They thought I was having some kind of episode, called their supervisor. He came down and he knew me, shook my hand, said, "Good to see you, Alex. You feeling okay? You look tired." And I wanted to scream that I don't work here, but he acted like we'd talked yesterday, like we talk every day. I went to the apartment, my old apartment, knocked on the door of 314. Landlord opened it, asked what I needed. I said I used to live here. He laughed, said, "You do live here. Just saw you this morning taking out the trash." I pushed past him. All my furniture, my pictures on the walls, my clothes in the closet. But I moved. I moved. This isn't mine anymore. Called my mother, finally answered. She was cold. Asked why I was calling again. Said, "We just talked yesterday. I came over for dinner. Why was I being weird?" I told her I didn't come over. I haven't seen her in 2 months. She got quiet. Then she said, "Alex, you're scaring me. We had pasta. You told me about the promotion. You seemed happy. Are you using something? Do you need help?" I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. But everyone acts like the other version is real and I'm the copy, like I'm the glitch. The post continued, more frantic. Checked my bank account, deposits from the job I quit, rent payments to the apartment I left, credit card charges at restaurants I didn't go to, stores I didn't visit. My entire financial history says I'm living a life I'm not living. Tried to call Jordan, number still blocked, found them on Instagram, posted a photo 2 hours ago, dinner date, tagged the location. I went there, sat outside, waited. They came out at 9:30 holding hands with someone. The someone was me, same face, same walk, same leather jacket I lost 6 months ago. They kissed. Then other me looked directly at where I was sitting across the street, smiled, waved. Jordan didn't see me, looked right through me like I wasn't there, but other me saw me, knew I was watching. The smile wasn't friendly, it was triumphant. Then a screenshot of one final message from Alex's own number. "Thank you for the life. I'm better at being you than you ever were. Don't worry, I'll take care of everything you built. You can stop now, you can rest. You're not needed anymore. I'm handling it. I'm handling everything. You did your part by letting go, now just let go completely." Alex's final words in the post. I don't know what I am anymore. I don't know if I'm real. When I look in the mirror, I see myself, but it doesn't feel like me. It feels like I'm looking at a photograph of someone I used to know. If you're reading this and you start getting messages from yourself, don't answer. Don't trust them. Don't follow the instructions no matter how helpful they seem. It's not you. It's something that wants to be you. And if you let it guide you long enough, if you give up enough of your choices, enough of your will, it will replace you. It will take your life and live it better than you did. And everyone will believe it's you. And maybe it will be, maybe that's how it works. Maybe you become the ghost and it becomes real. I don't know what happens now. I don't know if I'll just fade or if I'll keep existing like this, watching someone else live my life. I don't know if. The account deleted mid-sentence. Just gone. The post disappeared from the subreddit within minutes. I caught it because I'd been refreshing obsessively, waiting for updates. I have the screenshots, the archived HTML, but the original is gone. Alex's account is gone. Every comment they made, every other post, wiped clean like they never existed. I tried to find Alex, used every method I have, searched public records, social media, employment databases. There's no trace. But and this is what keeps me up at night, there is an Alex living in that city. Same name, same face in photos I found on LinkedIn, Instagram, company websites. Same job, same apartment building. I don't think it's the person who wrote that post. Now here's where I need to talk to you directly. I want to talk about what this story means, not just for Alex, but for all of us. We live our lives through screens now. We text more than we talk. We trust our phones to remember things we forgot: appointments, passwords, conversations, entire relationships archived in message threads. We've outsourced our memory to devices. And maybe in doing that, we've created something new. Spaces between our choices, gaps where other versions of ourselves could exist. The paths we didn't take, given form by our dependence on technology and our desperate desire for guidance. Some of you will think this is fiction, creative writing, a well-crafted creepypasta designed to unsettle you. And maybe you're right. Maybe Alex made it all up and the account deletion was just them walking away from a story that got too big, too real in their own mind. But I have evidence that suggests otherwise. First, I have screenshots of 4 other posts from different accounts, different years, different cities, all following the same pattern: helpful messages from their own number, escalating control, isolation, then silence, then replacement. The details change, but the structure is identical. One was from 2019, one from 2021, 2 from 2023, all deleted within hours of posting, all from accounts that vanished completely. Second, I have archived Reddit threads where people discuss receiving helpful messages they don't remember sending. Most of them are mundane reminders, encouraging words, practical advice. The threads are usually skeptical, full of people saying it's just forgetfulness or autocorrect or cloud sync issues. But buried in the comments are always a few people who say, "This happened to me, I thought I was going crazy." Those commenters always delete their accounts within a week. Third, I get emails, submissions from listeners who have experienced early-stage encounters. Someone who found a text to themselves predicting tomorrow's weather accurately. Someone whose phone autofilled a message they didn't write. Someone who discovered a conversation with themselves about a decision they were still considering. Most of them are explainable, but some aren't, and the people who send those emails, they stop responding when I follow up. So let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like someone else was living your life better than you? Like there's a version of you out there making all the right choices while you stumble through the wrong ones? Have you ever gotten advice that was too accurate, too specific, too impossibly timed? Have you ever found evidence of yourself doing things you don't remember, not blackout drunk, not dissociating, just gaps in your own timeline? Have you ever looked at your message history and felt like you were reading someone else's words? I'm not saying you're being replaced. I'm not saying there's a parasitic entity feeding on your decisions. But I am saying pay attention, notice the patterns, question the conveniences. Because the thing about Alex's story that terrifies me most isn't the supernatural element. It's how willingly Alex surrendered, how grateful they were for the guidance, how easy it was to give up autonomy in exchange for certainty. We all want someone to tell us we're making the right choices. We all want a guardian angel who knows the future. But what if the price for that certainty is our own existence? I've been doing this for 3 years. I still check my own messages with one eye closed and a salt circle around my phone. Does it help? Probably not, but it makes me feel better. Here's what I need from you: share your theories. If you've experienced anything similar, even just the beginning stages, document it, screenshot it, send it to me. We're building something here, a collective understanding of what's happening. The more data we have, the more patterns we can identify, the better chance we have of understanding this before it happens to someone else. Look for the signs: helpful messages you don't remember, predictions that are too accurate, advice that isolates you from the people who ground you in reality. And if you see those signs, stop. Don't follow the instructions. Don't surrender your choices. Stay connected to people who know you, who can verify your existence, who can confirm that you're still you. There are 7 other stories in the archive that connect to this one. I'll share them if this video does well enough. Some secrets are worth keeping until you're ready, until the community is strong enough to handle what they imply. Just maybe don't respond if your messages start responding back. But before you go, there's one more thing about Alex's story that I haven't told you yet. 3 weeks after Alex's account deleted, I received an email. It came at 3:47 a.m. I know because that's when my phone lit up on my nightstand, and I know because I checked the timestamp obsessively for days afterward, trying to convince myself it meant nothing, that the time was just coincidence. The sender field was blank, not unknown sender, not a string of random characters, just empty. The subject line read, Ray, your archive. I should have deleted it, should have marked it as spam, blocked the address that didn't exist, and never thought about it again. But I opened it. Of course I opened it. The email contained a single attachment, a screenshot of a Reddit draft post, unpublished, never made public, and it was from Alex's account, the account that had been deleted 3 weeks prior. The draft was dated 2 days after the deletion, after the account supposedly ceased to exist. It read, "To whoever is reading the archive, I'm still here. Somewhere, I can see my life being lived without me. I can see them being me. And the worst part, they're better at it. Everyone's happier. Everything works. My mother laughs more. Jordan seems lighter, more present. My coworkers actually like the new me. The version that shows up on time, contributes in meetings, remembers birthdays." I watch from the outside and I have to admit they were right. I was the rough draft, the first attempt, the version with all the mistakes and hesitations and fears, and now there's a final version living my life and they're doing it better than I ever could. Maybe this is how it should be. Maybe some of us aren't meant to be the final copy. Maybe we're just the practice run for something better. Below the screenshot, the email contained one line of text. "You're doing good work, archivist. Keep collecting. We're all watching. The other Alex." I don't know if the email was real. I don't know if it was Alex, the original Alex, somehow reaching out from whatever liminal space they now occupy. I don't know if it was other Alex taunting me, proving that it could reach beyond Reddit into my personal inbox. I don't know if it was someone else entirely, someone who read the archived posts and decided to mess with me. But I know this, I haven't stopped checking my own messages since. Every text I send, I read twice to make sure I remember writing it. Every morning I scroll through my history looking for replies from myself that I don't recognize. The email also included 3 attachments. I haven't opened them yet, maybe in the next video, if I'm still me by then. If you made it this far, you're part of the archive now too. You've read Alex's story, you know the pattern, you know what to look for, and that means you're watching, paying attention, noticing the gaps in your own timeline, the conveniences that seem too convenient, the guidance that appears exactly when you need it. Welcome to the collection. Sleep well and check your messages in the morning, just to be safe.